Welcome to CTalk-Gasgoo CTalk. Today, we are very glad to have Enrique Orta, Lear's Global Vice President of Electrical Distribution Systems and Connection Systems. As we all know, Lear is well known in the industry for its seating products. In fact, apart from that, Lear is also a global leader in e-system with a strategic and complementary product portfolio, delivering advanced vehicle architecture and in-vehicle technology solutions. In connection systems, Lear also provides high-performance, ultra-compact, lightweight, and cost-competitive products and solutions. Today, our conversation will focus on Lear's connection systems products and capabilities, its business layout in China, and industry trends. Please stay tuned. Lear is very famous for the seating system, but it's also a global leader in the e-system.
Correct.
So can you give us a brief introduction about e-system?
Yeah, absolutely, Tina. You think about Lear, it's a 21 billion company with more than 170,000 people. I think we're very proud to be in more than 450 nameplates in the cars because that's where we really get the value recognized by our customers. Traditionally, a lot of people think Lear is and seating to come together. E-systems, we are very strong because we are the only one in the market today that can do the full portfolio of products for our customers. We have the harnesses, we have the connectors, and we have the electronic part of the car. So we can provide the full system and the full architecture of the vehicle. We are big too. We are 5.7 billion in revenue. We have over 50 plants. We are in more than 30 countries. So very strong, but our strength is always in providing the right solutions to our customers. And in that, we are fully vertically integrated among the three product lines, and that gives us a competitive advantage versus other people in the market.
How about the connection systems?
Our connection system is the smallest brother in Lear. We keep growing. We are going to now expand our footprint into North Africa, and we are going to keep growing also in China. We are expanding. We double the size of our facilities in China, in Jiangsu. And next year we will continue growing. We are going to set up a new lab here in China for doing all the testing. But connection system is a very important part to connect the electronics of the vehicle together with the wires. So it's kind of the enabler between the two parts of our existing products.
When you mention the importance of the connector in the automobile, can you give us more detailed explanation on this part?
Well, you think about a car. A car is a computer in four wheels. Okay. People is more and more thinking about when I go into the car, I want to be connected. I want to be, as much as I can, I want to be self-driven. I want to be respectful to the environment with electrification, and that requires a transmission of power and signal. And that's the connector. At the end of the day, the connector secures the transmission of the power and signal between the different components in the vehicle. That part is very important for us because we are in that segment. So Lear traditionally in the connection system business has been very strong on the low voltage. Now comes the high voltage, but we have a strong portfolio and we have invested a lot on the new tools and new lines of production. And on top of that comes all the part related to electrification and battery packs. And also in that area we have been growing significantly with the introduction of push bars in place to resolve the problems that we normally have with the packaging in the vehicle, but also introduction of interconnector boards or black boards between the battery pack and the rest of the system in the vehicle.
So that's the advantages of Lear in the connection systems.
Yeah, I think the big advantage of Lear in the connection system is that we go from the design to the industrialization. We do all the testing, and we provide to our customers a turnkey solution. We don't limit our product portfolio into the low voltage or the high voltage or the high speed. We have the full portfolio of products, and that's one of the advantages. The second advantage is obviously Lear is a very global player. So when you buy Lear, you buy all our facilities. You buy, the power of a big organization with over 170,000 people, with more than 250 plants, represented in more than 35 countries. So a very big organization with a very strong, tradition in the electrification in the systems. And keep growing with the connection system. So we can produce those products for the customers. So we can provide the low voltage, the high voltage, and the highest speed of all of them together. So either it's parts or everything together.
As we just mentioned, the mega trends of electrification and intelligence in automotive industry actually brings a lot of challenges to the either new startup or traditional OEMs or tiers. So, what kind of challenges or opportunities it brings to the Lear's connector products?
Tina, if you think about the new cars, you see challenges and opportunities. I think the biggest challenge is that everything is coming together at the same time. And if you talk to the newcomers, the new startups, or even the traditional people, there's so many things that they want to introduce in the vehicles, right? And I think electrification is definitely the biggest mega trend that we see in the market today. China market is ahead of everybody, and with the implementation of electrical vehicles. But that creates an opportunity for a product like Lear. You know, why? Because you think about the car, you have two different vehicle architectures. You always have the low voltage vehicle architecture, and then on top of that comes the high voltage. And on top of that, to facilitate and to enable the autonomous driving, comes the highest speed connectivity, right? So again, coming back to securing the power and signal, the proliferation of our products in the cars is huge. And that's on the vehicle architecture. If you then go into the battery packs, what they call the scale, we produce a lot of components in the scale. We produce bus bars, we produce ICBs, we produce BDUs, you know, so battery disconnect units. We produce all these kind of products that the customers require. Again, we can integrate it, or we can sell those separately. But I think the advantage of Lear is that we are a full supplier.
Yeah, so when they talk to Lear, they can get a one-stop solution.
Correct. And that's the idea. We can have a turnkey solution. It's a one-shop stop. You know, you don't have to go to multiple customers. And we can design the harness, we can provide the connectors, and we can provide the interface to the power electronics of the vehicle. And that's definitely one thing that only Lear can offer in the market today. Nobody else can offer.
And welcome back to China again. And can you share with us your insights about China automotive market?
Well, China it's always been a big market in automotive. Since 2009, China has been the leader in the automotive market. If you see China in the last 5 years and the evolution of the BEV, the electrical vehicle, is really outpacing everybody else in the market. Normally, China was thinking about 30% of the cars by 2030 should be electrical, but I think with the introduction of new people like BYD and NIO and many others, they are keeping the pace even faster, right? And that's something that I believe is a big advantage for China, and it's a big challenge for the rest of the markets. I think the Chinese OEMs are pushing the traditional OEMs to increase the pace.
We call it in Chinese 卷.
卷.
Okay.
卷.
Another part of this coin, I think that we'll be talking about the faster development of the product design, I mean the parts. Actually, it has a pressure on the supply chain.
Absolutely.
So it needs you to be more flexible, more localized your R&D resources.
Absolutely. When I started in automotive many years ago, a platform development and introduction and life was anything between 5 and 10 years.
5 and 10 years. Wow.
Because from the moment you start the development to the moment you industrialize, you launch the vehicle, and then the lifetime of the vehicle was anything between 5 and 7 years normally. Today we are seeing that those changes are happening much more frequently, and a vehicle lasts anything between 3 and 5, and it has a model year change in the middle of the cycle. So normally every 1.5 years you have a model change, and for so many of our customers they are doing model change almost every 12 months or 18 months, right? So it's really fast, and that requires a big organization behind, right? And I think Lear has that power. Back to what I mentioned at the beginning of the conversation, right? Lear has been around for 100 years.
Yeah.
As a supplier, it's one of the top 10 suppliers in the world, and we know how to adapt ourselves to the market. So that's another thing, another advantage that Lear offers to the customers: a full service engineering, full service industrialization, full service production to our customers.
We see another trend happening these 2 years that for global companies, in China for global, because China is not only a huge market itself, but it also very embracing the new technologies.
Correct.
So here you can adopt the latest trends of the customers, create the scenarios. So for Lear, especially for the connection systems, do you have any kind of plan?
Absolutely. I mean, again, you see China market, as I mentioned before, is growing very fast, right? And if you see the China OEMs, you have, as you mentioned, you have the China's OEMs that want to be global, and the global people who wants to be in China, right? And so that creates a very healthy competition. And for us in connection system in China, we have defined a strategy that is focused on that healthy competition in that high voltage segment primarily. So we are launching our high voltage families here out of China, out of our plants. We are launching our bus bar technology with aluminum bus bar, so for the PDUs, quite innovative with complete automatic processes. And we are launching our high current terminals. Because if you think about the cars, they're going to move more power, more current, and for that you need bigger terminals. And the team here in China has been able to develop and localize both things. We're having production of those products traditionally in other regions, in Europe or North America. We have localized a lot of that to maintain our competitive pricing and our competitive presence in the market. Very important.
If we see expectation in China market for 3 years, what's your expectation?
Well, who knows what is going to happen?
Maybe 1 year or 2 years.
I think 3 years in the market is very volatile. I mean, this market, as we discussed, is very fast and very flexible, right? And the amount of changes that you saw in the last 5 years is probably more than the last 50 years in automotive. And if you think about the next 3 years, I will guarantee you it's going to be equivalent to 30 years of the traditional automotive industry, right? So I think it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with the new big players like BYD. And I think what is going to happen for sure is going to be a lot of technology. I think electrification is going to be even more present in the market. So that 30% that was the target of the Chinese government of 30% electrical cars by 2030 is going to be a very small number. It's going to be much more than that. And we are going to see also more technology on the infotainment. We are going to see more technology on the autonomous driving, which is something that is continue developing in parallel. And obviously that's opportunity for Lear connection systems because we are ready for that. We are ready for our customers with our products.
So for the connection team, you wish them to achieve,
Right. I think when you look at the China market or the Asia market, the growth of the content per vehicle, the growth of the OEMs, the diversity or diversification of OEMs, together with our traditional customers, I think the opportunity is massive. And the content per vehicle is going to multiply significantly. And as we go more into electrification, more into autonomous driving, more into global connectivity, we are going to see more and more content. So the CPV or the content per vehicle is going to multiply a number of times. And I'm expecting my team and the Lear team to make sure that we capture part of that, what we deserve.
And I guess there is a big window opportunity for global tiers that the China OEM now is very eager to go abroad.
Yeah, correct. I think the one thing that the China's OEMs are looking for is people who have the global presence. Because as we discussed, you have Chinese for China, that I think they're happy with the Asian market, but you have people that are looking into being global or becoming global, right? And for that global positioning, they need global suppliers. And Lear is one of the biggest global suppliers in the world, right? So obviously we are here, we are very strong in China, we're very strong in Asia, but we are very strong everywhere in the world, right? So intention always is to be with those guys here, starting now with them, and then moving with them to wherever they go. If they come to Europe or they come to North America, we will try to be there with them.
That would be a big advantages.
Correct. So we started the very good relation with many of those newcomers. I wouldn't call it newcomers anymore, but Chinese OEMs already here in China. We have a good business with them. We need to grow that business. But obviously, as they go outside, they're going to need people that they know and people that they rely on, and they are people that are global. And that's hopefully clear.
Okay. I am not sure whether you know that since this year, in China markets, actually they launch more and more competitive products
Yeah.
with very competitive prices.
Yeah.
So for the supply chain, we heard a lot of the cost reducing.
Cost pressure, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. So, Tina, we're in the middle right now because if you look at the raw material side with the copper, with the semiconductors, with the resins, with inflation in general in the world, the pressure from the suppliers is continue very big. On the other side, as you say, the OEMs, they need to have more and more cash flow. They need to generate more profit because they have so many initiatives that they need to create that profitability for them to continue investing in the business. So we are in the middle. We have a pressure on the supply side from all the raw materials and all the semiconductors, and which is stabilizing but still problematic.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other side, we are in this pressure from the customers that they want to be very competitive, and that for the tier ones it's always been a challenge. It's always I've been in automotive 30 years plus, and I always got the same feeling. I've never seen a customer that doesn't put pressure on the price.
Kind of sandwich, right?
Yeah.
Market share or margin?
I would say margin with good market share.
Oh, that's not an easy job.
No, it's not an easy job. But I think people very often people focus too much in growth, but growth without profitability is not good growth. So what I say to my team is always, let's have profitable growth. So you need to grow, because if you don't grow, you go backwards. But if you grow by buying the market or losing money, you are going to die sooner or later. It's not sustainable, as you say. So profitable growth is the trick here, right? So we need to overgrow the market, always be better than the market, so you always gain more share in the market, but you gain share with a profitable result.
So the selection of customer becomes very important.
The selection of customers is always very important, because you have customers that are playing in a partnership, you have customers that are playing in a customer-supplier relation. But what we try to do in Lear is always to play in the partnership. We believe that a customer-supplier relation is not sustainable. If you just think about the next platform and don't think about the next platform, you're only fighting on price. Okay? And what we believe is we need to add value to our customers, right? So we need to have a good price, we have to have a good technical solution, we have to have a good quality in the products that we do, and we have to have a good delivery in the products that we do. And with that, you create a long-term solution. And then the customers that are on the same value proposition, they come to you and they stay. The ones that don't want to have that value proposition, one of the two parties needs to leave,
Okay. Thank you for accepting our interview.
Thank you, Tina. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.